Well, good morning, everyone. And Happy New Year. Well, I hope everyone had a safe and fun and a happy New Year. And let's see, as usual, I did absolutely nothing on New Year's. Let's see, what did we do? Oh, heat. We need heat. There we go. Okay. Well, as I said, I hope everyone was safe and everyone made it home in one piece. My daughter is at a friend's house celebrating the new year. Coffee. My daughter, the college student, on her way to university next year. Yay. Well, speaking of my daughter, I was talking to her the other day about my show here and why I'm not getting that many views, long views. People stop in and take a look and then exit just as quick. Hello. Okay, apparently the mic is working. And so she suggested that maybe in the first few minutes I do something exciting, something worth watching. Well, I tried to explain to her that it's not really that kind of a show. It's more of a let's hang out and rap kind of situation. Of course, I seem to be doing most of the talking, but that's all right. My dogs are used to that. So it is a different kind of show. I have in the works right now a Friday evening show and a Sunday morning show. If I get things together correctly, we should have the live show up and running within a week or two. The Friday Night Live. Sunday morning will be a different kind of show as well. It will be more in the fashion of a morning show on Sundays on CBS. Similar. We'll have stories, segments, music, nature, whatever I can muster up on video. And then I'll premiere it live on Sunday mornings. And then after a week or so, break the segments up so you can watch the pieces individually. So let's see. Anybody have any crazy dreams they want to talk about? I remember my dreams just as quick as I get up, and then forget them just as quick. Let's see. Let's have a little morning taste here, since we seem to have arisen this morning in a considerable amount of pain, which is not uncommon. So let's see. Ooh. Kim Kardashian. Mood up in anxiety band. What do we got here? Anxiety related creativity. Focused and uplifted. Let's get focused and uplifted. And maybe we'll get an appetite out of it as well, since pain seems to take that away just as quick as waking takes my dreams. So I'm doing Coastal Sun this morning. Probably can't see that. Coastal Sun, I'm back to Green Pearl Organics because they're back. I don't know where they were. I forgot to ask. But they were gone the last time I tried to get a delivery. And then, let's see. What were we talking about? We are talking about TV shows this morning. What's your favorite TV show? Do you have a favorite TV show? Do you watch TV? If you don't, what do you watch? Do you watch YouTube? Do you watch anything? Do you go to movies? So let's see. What shows have I been watching? I just finished watching Almost Paradise. Almost Paradise is a show from one of the creators is Dean Devlin. If you remember Dean Devlin, he worked with Roland Emmerich for about a decade or more. Independence Day, Stargate. Let's see. The crazy weather one. Something about tomorrow. Anyways, Dean Devlin. I think I remember first seeing him in Real Genius with Val Kilmer. He played one of the nerds, just one of the nerds, I believe. And went on to a very successful career behind the scenes, writing, producing, directing, creating. Almost Paradise is a fantastic 2-season show, 20 episodes. It's all set in the Philippines. I don't know if Mactan and Cebu are a fictional Filipino place, but it's a great show. It really highlights everything about the Philippines. I understand that Dean Devlin's mother was Filipino, which I guess is why he brought us the show. It's a fantastic show. Christian Kane, the star of the show, was on Leverage, if you remember that show, Lavarge. Now, that was a great show from Timothy Hutton. And had a lot of great characters. And Almost Paradise pretty much relies strictly upon local talent. There are guest appearances by other than Filipino actors, but it seems like it's mostly local talent, and it's just fantastic talent as that. the female co-star, Samantha Rochelle. I've never seen her before. She has an interesting way about her. You'll have to see the show to see what I'm talking about. And if you have watched Almost Famous, chime in and let me know what you think. Arthur Acuna, is that his name? Yeah, Arthur Acuna. He plays second banana to the female lead, the female detective, and the male detective, Arthur Acuna. What a fantastic character he is. I love it when he decides that he's gonna fight somebody and he takes his glasses off and sets them down. Just a great character show. Richard Kind, big guy, big face, big voice. He steps in to play the lead character's uncle. Just great. Now, one thing I'd like to mention is what's his name? Dante Bosco. For the life of me, I cannot remember the character's name, but he had a huge part in the movie Hook with Robin Williams, the Peter Pan movie. He played the Dante Bosco played the lost boy with the mohawk. Just a great Filipino actor. He was like nowhere forever, and then a few decades ago he just popped up again, or excuse me, about a decade ago he just popped up again on my radar, and then I noticed him in this. He still has that kid voice. You can still see that lost boy inside of him. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the movie Hook, but he still wears sort of a mohawk haircut, and he does still dye his hair. He's got a big blue streak in his hair. And that, to me, it just says Hook. It just says Lost Boy. Anyway, it's a great fun adventure show. Just an awesome piece of TV. I'm not really into the new shows that are out. I don't seem to have any trouble with watching Almost Paradise. In fact, I'll probably at some point go back and rewatch it because it's a lot of fun. Another short-lived TV series, this time from Netflix. You can find Almost Paradise on Prime if you want to watch it. And if you get a chance, do watch it. If you like action adventure shows, it is a fantastic one. On Netflix, I watched a show with my wife called Obliterated. I don't know if it's going to make it back around for another season, or if they have another season in them. I didn't really get the show. It was a show that took place over about a 24, 48-hour period in Las Vegas. Searching for a nuclear device. I don't want to go into it any more than that. I might enjoy it. I enjoyed much of it. Some of the main characters were off-putting. They kind of left me wondering what the hell were they thinking. I don't want to pick on anyone, so I won't bag on any of the actors. Some of them just were me. They were a little contrived, a little overboard with their. I don't know if that was the gimmick, if the overacting was a part of it. but it just seemed like everybody was really reaching to make this work, except for one person. The reason why I watched the show Obliterated on Netflix was for one reason only. I saw the preview, and the entire preview was about a minute of C. Thomas Howell, all gray-haired and scraggly and wrinkly, just like me, as the bomb guy, the bomb tech. From the first time he popped on the screen in the trailer, I knew I was going to have to watch this for no other reason than to see Pony Boy. And boy, he goes from Pony Boy to Party Boy in this, because I think he spends, out of the eight episodes I think there is, out of the whole thing, he spends about 3 episodes, I think, passed out, and he's literally carried from scene to scene, episode to episode. It's like Weekend at Bernie's. It's so hilarious. And I don't envy his stuntman and his stand-in, because even while he was sleeping, he got a lot of drama. But C. Thomas Howell, I just saw him in one of his very, very first roles. He played Zero Charisma, I think. No, he was next to Zero Charisma on E.T. Boom, and there he is at the bus stop with the other kids. C. Thomas Howell, Pony Boy from The Outsiders. Why don't you chime in on the comments when you get a chance, and let me know what your favorite C. Thomas Howell movie is. I'm going to have to say, I probably haven't seen enough of C. Thomas Howell to have a favorite, although this latest job on Obliterated was just, I hope it brings him back out and into the limelight, because yeah, C. Thomas Howell, way to go, dude. What a great God, he sounds the same. He's still got that same smile. Just awesome to see. I think he did about 20 years ago or so, he did a War of the Worlds incarnation. It was a War of the Worlds movie, kind of a newer, updated version. I think it came out about before or after, around the same time as Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, which it's an okay movie. They rely mainly on Tom Cruise and a lot of special effects. But have they worked together before, Tom Cruise and Spielberg? Possibly so. I know Ron Howard and Tom Cruise worked together on that movie, a Western movie with Nicole Kidman, that Morning Brain. There you go. Anybody? Far and Away. That was it. Ron Howard, Far and Away, Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman. Great movies. Pardon me while I kill some pain. It's not for everyone. I don't condone it, but I don't reject it. It's what I do. Okay, so let's go back. See Thomas Howell. There we go. War of the Worlds. Kind of a bizarre creation. That particular War of the Worlds actually has some similarities to that Evolution with David Duchovny. It's got a few similarities in there. Very few. It's about time to warm up my coffee. Better warm up my coffee. So yeah, see Thomas Howell, Obliterated on Netflix. It's about eight episodes, I think. Give it a look. It's really, really bizarre. If you like new stuff, I'm sure you'll love this. I wasn't a huge fan. My wife thought it was all right. I was like, you know, less weird. But you know, I think that shock and awe has got to be one of those big things in TV today's. You know, you got everybody's got to go in order for something to be worth watching. I don't, you know, I like things to kind of slow and build up to a big boom, and then, you know, and then smack you from the side, and then run it back and go boom. Great old movies. Good old movies. Let's see. Let's see. What have I been watching recently? Oh, I just found on Prime. And if you're kind of a newbie like me, I'm talking Amazon Prime Video. Of course, everybody else in the world probably knows that. I'm just catching on to all this cool stuff. So that's why you see me in this room with all this old shit, because I'm still catching up. So anyway, on Prime, CPO Sharkey. 2 seasons of CPO Sharkey have just popped up on Prime, and I'm into about season or episode 6 or 7. That brings back a lot of memories. This was one of my father's favorite sitcoms. 77, 78. I'm going to say it was about that time. We watched it religiously during prime time when it was on, when we lived in Fallbrook in 1977, 78. That was one of those shows where I would hang out and watch TV with my father, even though most of the time I was kind of like, what are you guys watching? You guys are watching crap. Yeah, normally I would nap out after school, if I was lucky, throw myself into my bed pile, and then get up in the middle of the night when everybody else was going to sleep, or, you know, after dinner, after everybody else had their TV time. If I wasn't lurking in the hallway, watching from around the corner, then I would come out when everybody else was asleep and sit and watch my favorite shows, usually on the weekends. I usually didn't get away with that during the week. But, you know, come Friday, Saturday night, everybody's doing their thing. And I have control of the TV. And I used to love to watch the late movies. I could stay up until the sun was poking up in the mornings, watching The Late Show and The Late Late Show, Movies Till Dawn. Channel 5 would air movies, old movies and old TV shows um, late at night into the wee hours of the morning. During the week, channels used to sign off after like 1 or 2 in the morning. There was nothing else to put on TV. Content was just not as available as it is today. So TV stations would actually shut down their channel for like 4 hours in the middle of the early morning. And Channel 5, I remember watching KTLA in Los Angeles, Channel 5, Movies Till Dawn, late shows, just some great stuff. I think that's probably where I fell in love with black and white movies. Let's see. I want to talk about Friday night. I had planned to go out Friday night with my wife and see some local talent. Just up the street, a gentleman was going to do some Beatles songs on his guitar and was throwing a little garden party. And so my plan was to take a nap and then we were going to go and hang out at this garden party. That didn't work out. Before my nap was over, my wife let me know that we were invited to go to Pioneer Town to Pappy and Harriet's to see a show. And you know, I was just amazed and excited. And I said, sure, let's go. Some of our favorite people out here in the Jockey area, Dave and Kristen, thank you so much for taking us. I had no idea that Big Sandy and his Fly Right boys were some of my biggest heroes until last Friday. I had no idea that I loved them until I found them. And thank you for taking me and introducing me. That was a life-changing experience. They've been around for over 20 years out of the Riverside, Southern California area. They've got several albums. I'll post links and be sure to check my playlist. I've already started a playlist for Big Sandy and his Fly Right boys, and I'll share everything that I possibly can over to that playlist. And at the very least, stop by Big Sandy and his Fly Right boys on Facebook and on YouTube and tell them hello, find out their information, give their information to your local drinkery, and get them to come by your town, because Big Sandy said that's what you got to do. Just let your place know that you want them, and they'll be there. Last night they played in Long Beach at a club with 3 other acts, and they were excited to not be the countdown band, so that they could actually enjoy the evening. And I hope you did enjoy the evening, Big Sandy and all you guys. I can't wait to have you back out into this area again. I can't say enough good stuff about Big Sandy and his Fly Right boys. And, you know, this is not one of those fancy tech shows where I'm going to keep throwing videos and pictures at you and a lot of fancy music and you know, let's go from scene to scene real quick, these fancy cutaway. I don't do that. You know, maybe on an actual video edited and produced, I'll do something like that. But if you're here, it's because you want to hang out, and that's it, for no other reason. You got some time to kill in the morning and you want to hang out, you want to conversate, or you just want to be on the fly on the wall because you don't want to be alone. I totally get it. That's why I'm here. More of my morning show explanation. I'm doing it because I can. I mean, you tell a kook like me that you can have your own show and your own channel and do whatever the hell you want. Like, I'm not going to do that? Come on. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be able to do this. It's an opportunity for me, not just for you to get to know me, but for me to get to know you. I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of traveling in my life. So if I can get some kind of connection going on with people in other places, old friends or new friends, that'd be friggin' awesome. Probably the main reason I'm doing this is, for lack of a better word, posterity. So that my daughter, my family, her family on the line, friends that I haven't known in the last 30 years because of geography, whatever the reason. I'm doing this show so that when I'm gone, you can still get to know me. All right. You won't know everything about me, but if this show goes on long enough, you'll know enough to say that you know me. And hopefully we'll have a back and forth enough so that I can say that I know you, whoever you are. If you pop in and you're not here in the United States, please, just in the comments, just leave your location. What part of the country and what part of the world are you in. If you want to go a little further, leave me a comment about what we're discussing. I'd love to have a little back and forth. At this point, I get more back and forth with my dogs than I do on this show, but that's okay. I like to ramble, and the dogs are the only ones that I don't bother, and hopefully I'm not bothering you. But at the same time, I really don't care, because this is for me as much as anyone. This show is for me to have fun. I'm not going to, walk in the first minute and do something crazy or pull my pants down or come in my underwear or something. I'm just going to continue on my morning quest for no pain or less pain. I don't think I'm going to get the no pain thing. That hasn't happened in 12 or 13 years. So I'll settle for less pain, and you know what? That's it right there. So on that note, here's to less pain. Less pain sounds like a private eye, right? Private dick, less pain. Or how about there you go. In the fashion of Barnaby Jones and Marcus Welby, MD, right? It'll be Less Pain, DDS, a Quinn Martin production, Act 1. Oh, there you go. Barnaby Jones. He is also on Prime. and we're in halfway through the second season out of, I think, like 8 seasons of Barnaby Jones. If you get a chance, tap into some of that Barnaby Jones. The first episode, the pilot episode, is just friggin' awesome. We get to find out where Betty Jones, his secretary, his assistant, comes from. Um, and we get to find out why Barnaby Jones is Barnaby Jones. But if you want to do yourself a really funny back and forth, start watching a little bit of Barnaby Jones and then go directly into an episode of Wipeout with co-host Jill Wagner and take a look at Jill Wagner and Lee Meriwether, Betty Jones, and take a look at those two actors. And oh my gosh, it's amazing how similar they are in facial features, body structure, bone structure. Their voices are very similar. They have the same, almost the same color hair, their eyes. It's uncanny how, yeah, you got to look at Lee Meriwether and Jill Wagner. But so if you get a chance, watch Barnaby Jones. I'm hoping that at some point I'll be able to find Canon with William Conrad and watch that, because that was one of my favorite shows. Much like Jim Rockford and the Rockford Files, another great show. Magnum PI. That was a good almost paradise type show. Now, in stark contrast to Magnum and Almost Paradise, there was another Paradise show that popped up in 82, 83 or something like that. It was called Tales of the Golden Monkey. For the life of me, I cannot remember any of the actors in that show. But the connection, I want to say that the show was a Belisarius show, but it may have been a Glenn Larson show, and it was probably, that guy. Oh, what was that guy's name? Oh, I'll have to get back to it. So Tales of the Golden Monkey, Jeff McKay from Magnum and previously from Black Sheep Squadron. He played Mac on the Magnum, and Magnum's wife, Michelle, on the show. They both left Magnum. In fact, they killed Mac off, and they both went over to Tales of the Golden Monkey. Jeff McKay's character becoming the airplane mechanic. I can't remember the nerdy white guy's name, the actor or the character. The actress who came over from Magnum, she played kind of a Black Widow type, evil, third axis type lady. In fact, the show was set back in early World War II, probably pre-World War II, I believe, when the Nazis were kind of going out and racing around and collecting artifacts. It was kind of a Indiana Jones type show, a pilot. Where the hell was it? Says South America or something. That was just a great funny show. I'll have to find some stuff and post some links or create some playlists for y'all with some trailers and possible episodes. Yeah. So the whole New Year thing. What is going on with you all with the New Year? I know a lot of y'all make resolutions and probably break your resolutions as quick as I break my resolutions. So I've decided not to make any resolutions. I've decided to either start doing stuff or stop doing stuff, and that's it. So obviously not going to stop smoking. So stop smoking marijuana. But I do plan to try and do more on my channel here. I have plans on investing more time and energy into things. I have been putting together a lot of video from concerts and from outings, and I have plans to put together some more segments. So yeah, hopefully that will all work out relatively soon. The whole Friday Night Live thing, forgive me, I wipe the sleep out of my eyes because, it is before 6 a.m, coffee. So be sure to, stay tuned. This is my routine now, is getting up and doing this show. Of course, it'll probably change and evolve as the weeks and months go by. It is kind of an experiment, kind of a social and psychological experiment. This allows me to talk about things that I want to talk about. It's not a forum for politics or religion or old grudges or, bagging on people and bagging on things. I want this to be a positive experience. So if there's something I don't like, I'll probably just not talk about it. I'll probably just kind of leave it at that. But if it is something I like, well, you're probably going to hear about it here. Yeah. It's not a fast-paced show because, let's face it, I'm tired because it's the morning time. And I use the morning time because when I was younger, mornings were my time. I would get up, and the first couple of hours awake was my favorite time of the day. I was more creative. I had the most energy. I could find the most fun out of the day. And then, of course, like, everybody else, I got into that routine, into that routine of work. Let's live life for the sake of living life instead of living life to get as much as you can out of life. And so I decided to do the morning show so that I could find that fun again. Find that morning, yeah, let's go do it. And it has this morning show, even after a couple of weeks only, it has really changed my day-to-day outlook. Sometimes, because of insomnia, most nights I only get about 4 or 5 hours sleep a night. Um, and that's been happening since I was a little kid, as far back as I could remember. I would go to bed, and everybody in the house would be asleep, and I would be awake for hours before I would finally go to sleep. And then sometimes I'd be up so late that when the morning came and it'd be time to get up and go to school, I would be living on just fumes. I mean, I would have so little sleep in me. Um, and as I became a teenager and a young adult, I learned to just deal with 5 hours sleep a night. And that was it. If I was lucky, I was going to get 5 hours sleep a night. Now I'm in bed for about 6, 7 hours, and I still only get about 5 hours sleep because, I get up maybe 3 times in the middle of the night, take a squirt, and then I have to work myself back to sleep, bring myself back down. I've got dogs that require attention in the middle of the night. Scratch, scratch, time to go out. Scratch, scratch, let me back in. Scratch, scratch, let me get under the blanket. So we got that to deal with. So I'm still back down to about 4 or 5 hours sleep a night. Now, what's neat about the morning show is that I can get up with get up at 4 in the morning, prepare for my show, do my show, and then by 6 or 7, if there's nothing going on that day, I can go back to sleep, take a nap for a couple of more hours, and then get up. Or after I've dealt with my day, I can come home, take a nap for a couple of hours before dinner, and actually get more sleep in. Um, I can't sleep for more than 5 hours straight, but if I sleep for 5 here and 2 or 3 here, I actually get closer to my 8 hours sleep, and I don't feel like I have so much sleep debt because I can't repay that sleep debt. It just doesn't work. You try, but you, you, once you've lost sleep, it's gone. That's why it's lost. So this show has given me back sleep time that I've never had, really. I mean, the only time I get the right amount of sleep is by being inebriated, and then that's not really good sleep. Um, and I hate to be, get so wasted to go to sleep. I remember in the mid 2000s, I had stopped smoking marijuana for a long period of time. I was on antidepressants, and I couldn't sleep at all. I mean, I wasn't getting any sleep. The antidepressants were making me drowsy, and I was just fishtailing through the whole day, but it wasn't, nothing was, so I would have to drink in order to sleep. I would have to pound 2, 3, 4, sometimes a 6 pack of beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon or whatever I could get for cheap. I was even pounding down Jägermeister and apricot brandy and just anything that I could put in me to get me inebriated so that I could pass out. And between all of the pills and the booze and stuff, still wasn't getting any good sleep, and it wasn't helping the depression any, and it wasn't helping work, and it wasn't helping home. It wasn't Nothing I was doing was helping. And it just got to the point, and I was on antacid stuff, and I was just a shambles. And I finally got to the point to where I just decided to stop everything, and got off all of the pills, because no matter what pills I took, if I ran out, I was unbearable. And so I just decided to stop taking them. And I think I was doing some teas and some like St. John's wort and some other little things to kind of help my head. And it worked. But I eventually went back to smoking marijuana, because throughout my whole life, I had had a history of smoking marijuana and being able to fit in, um, not just socially, but fit in with myself. I mean, I feel comfortable. I never really felt comfortable with me being me. And that was always a big part of it, a big part of my stress issue. And then with the marijuana, I was able to get back to a 5 or 6 hour a night sleep regimen, and get some kind of routine, and be able to go out and function in society and do the things that were expected of me. Um, and so, you know, for for years I tried to avoid it, and then I just say, you know what, the hell with it. Even if society decides they're never going to accept marijuana, I have to accept it because it's just a part of who I am, and it helps me be me. You know, and if you don't like me, then you got a remote, change the channel. That's great. That's okay. I don't mind you. You're different. Be different. Be who you are. Um, yeah, of course, I forgot where I was going, so I'll just take a hit. So in 2011, 2010, I got the greatest job in the world for me, handyman painter at a resort. 2011, of course, I injured my neck at work and had to do the whole workers' comp thing and um, rehabilitation and all kinds of physical therapy. Um, and anyway, moving on, I wound up with chronic pain. And after suffering horribly with the pain medication, the pills that they were giving me, I mean, literally just throwing them at me. I'd sit in the doctor's office for my appointment and would sign for my pills and get my pills before I even saw a freaking doctor. So I stopped taking pills and I stopped seeing the doctor. And I decided, you know, if the surgery they're going to offer me isn't going to fix the pain, it's just going to give me mobility. Well, what's the point of having surgery if you're not going to get rid of the freaking pain? You know, I'd rather have no pain and no mobility than mobility and pain. I don't understand what their philosophy is with pain, but pain is the issue. So I did the switch over from pills to marijuana. Got the medical card. Did the medical card for a little while until it went recreational. And sure, I'm almost certain that with the marijuanas today, the strains and the different brands, you're almost certain to die of some form of cancer from smoking marijuana. Who knows? Maybe even just ingesting the edibles. For me, is it worth it? Probably, because we're talking about quality of life versus quantity. You know, and I spent too many years sitting alone, staring into a corner, not wanting to be a part of this world and wishing that I weren't. And, you know, you say whatever you want, but marijuana, and it's not a gateway drug. Drugs in my life. My formative years were in the 1980s. So, You know, I did stuff like speed, cocaine, and mushrooms, and LSD and stuff. And while a lot of people that I knew lost themselves in those drugs, marijuana helped me stay away from those drugs for the most part and helped me find myself. Yeah, sure, I did those things. Did I enjoy them? Hell yeah. You know, it was my time to experiment and do those things. Did I make poor decisions? Yeah, most of the time. Um, did I let those poor decisions get me into trouble? Most of the time, no. Um, I had been through enough earlier on in my life to know to stay the hell out of trouble and really tried desperately to keep myself and others out of trouble. A lot of the times I was just the designated straight guy because I would designate myself the straight guy, knowing full well that everybody else was going to be out of their minds and somebody was going to have to, you know, keep it together. And so I would just smoke pot. Everybody else would be doing acid or speed or coke or whatever. And sometimes I would just be the guy smoking pot so that I could, you know, keep everyone corralled, be the designated driver, be the guy who has to answer the door if the cops show up, be the guy to wake up and remember to get everybody out of the house before the parents got home. And I enjoyed being that guy. I enjoyed being the straight guy who was straight because he was only stoned, you know. So yeah, marijuana actually allowed me the opportunity to live a life. Before marijuana, I had a horrible life trying to exist on this planet with these horrible monsters surrounding me. And looking into the mirror and seeing another horrible monster. And it wasn't until I was 15, 16, started smoking marijuana pretty much on a regular day-to-day basis. Not all the time, but at least once a day, trying to find a way to get high. And it wasn't until then that I started to see people and not monsters. I would look into the mirror and see a monster in the eyes, but that was it, you know. And yeah, and it really kept me out of trouble. It kept me from wanting to do any of those other drugs and booze and all that stuff because it just wasn't me, you know. I wasn't even a cigarette smoker until, you know, I decided to sit in a cafe and smoke a pack of cigarettes one day. And then I fought off and on with cigarettes, gosh, until 2013. I finally did.